your host, Andrew Romanella.
When you play Battle in Mario Kart and you don't turn off any of the items, there are bananas everywhere. I mean, it's like you're losing your balloons because you're slipping on bananas left and right. Bananas everywhere. What's going on, everybody? Welcome into another edition of The Rome Show here on 12ouncesports.com. Broadcasting live on YouTube, on X, on Roku, and on Play Fire TV. I said before, I'll say it again. I'm Andrew Romanella. You can join us on the social media, The Rome Show 1 or 12OZ Sports. That's the mothership on any of the social media sites. We have a solid Friday show for the people. It's the last day of the week. So we also let you know what we're watching over the weekend when we can't be together. So some Masters, some Major League Baseball, and some Here's Your Weekend Sports Calendar, okay? Make sure you get in on the action. Go to YouTube or X, and you can comment live on the show. And you can get in on the action with myself or whoever wants to listen live on this Friday morning. We are going to start on this Friday in Augusta, Georgia, as we give you scores from day number 1 of the Masters tournament. Now, before I get into this, okay, just as a friendly reminder, I don't know how many fans that listen to the Rome Show are avid golf fans. I don't know how many fans that listen to the Rome Show even really truly understand the importance of Augusta, of the Masters, of winning the green jacket. Okay, so there are 4 majors over the course of a year. Okay, and those 4 majors are kicked off with the most important one in April to essentially really jumpstart the season for the PGA. They've been playing on and off in tournaments for about a month and a half now. But Augusta in April really is like the kickstart of the season. You want to think of Augusta and the green jacket for golfers as you want to think of the Daytona 500 when it comes to NASCAR. That is how important this match is. And the crazy thing is you could go your whole career not winning anything, but if you win a green jacket, it's almost as satisfying as winning any other major, winning other tournaments, and not getting a green jacket. Much like tennis, there is a Grand Slam, career Grand Slam, that Rory McIlroy is trying to go for, I should say, right now. Rory has won the Open Championship, has won the U.S. Open, has won the other one that slipped my mind real quick, the Players, I think it is, but has yet to be able to win the Masters. And multitudes of times in his 11th playing of the Masters, I believe, or 11th chance of going for the career Grand Slam at the Masters, Rory has been in the top 10 a lot. He's been in the top 5 a lot. He's held the lead in this tournament for certain periods of time. But unfortunately, he has been unable to break through. And yesterday in round number 1, you saw a small microcosm of why this is the steepest of steep uphill battles for Rory McIlroy. Going into hole number 13, Rory was -3, which would have put him in the top 5 of the tournament. 1 at that time, and then 2 to end the day. But over the course of holes 13 through 18 to finish his round, Rory McIlroy went +3 and finished the first round of the tournament at an even 72, tied for 127th place. While the leader in the clubhouse after day number 1 is Justin Rose, who shot a day best 65 or -7 for those counting at home. He is a clear 3 strokes ahead of the second place finisher after day number 1, Corey Connors, Scotty Scheffler, and Ludwig Aberg. As we talked yesterday, Scotty Scheffler had the best odds to win this tournament at +475. Second best odds, Rory McIlroy and Ludwig Aberg, as you can see there. Some other notable names that finished yesterday, first round of the Masters: Bryson DeChambeau, -369. Colin Morikawa, an even 72. Brooks Koepka, plus 274. And then Jordan Spieth, Justin Thomas, and Tommy Fleetwood, just to name a few, plus 1 at 73. The tee-off happens again today, starting at 7:40 in the morning. I believe it's the Australian Cam Davis, along with Rafael Campos, Austin Eckroat, and I think one other in that first group to kick off day 2 of the Masters Championship. If you're not a big golf fan watcher, this is the one tournament where I think you should watch. Not only, okay, is it a beautiful view, the holes are immaculate, it's also one of the harder golf courses you're going to play. So if you look at this sheet of scores, you have roughly 20 guys under par. That's it. Okay. So if you have essentially 100 and let's call it 50 participants in this tournament, and only 20 of them are under par, that will tell you how difficult the golf course is. And to me, besides the fact that it's historic, it's fun to watch the professionals struggle. There's also so much drama that happens over the next 3 days, right? Because here's a fun fact for you. Over the course of Justin Rose's career, he's actually finished the first round leading the pack the most times in the history of golf, okay? So essentially, Justin Rose 5 times in his career has left round 1 of the Masters Championship leading, okay? However, that is not translated into Masters Championship wins. You would automatically think it's got to be Tiger Woods that holds that record. No, because Tiger did all of his damage on the weekend. Tiger did what he needed to do on Thursday and Friday to either be leading or be right there to lead. And then Saturday and Sunday, he took charge. And that is why this tournament ain't close to over. That's why this tournament, it's all fun and games. So you get to aim in corner and you have 6 holes left and all of a sudden it's like, bang. My -4 just went to +1 real fast. A lot of doubles and a lot of triples on this course, which makes it way more fun for the golf fan to watch because it's actually way more relatable. One more story that came out of this before we move on to baseball. Okay. This is a funny one. Jose Luis Ballester, okay, is a 21-year-old that is, I believe, representing Spain, but plays for Arizona State in the NCAA, okay? Made the tournament and was playing in a pairing yesterday with 2 players that you would know, all right? And at one point in time, decides, you know what? I got to get out of here and go to the bathroom. So he's playing with Justin Thomas, all right, and Scotty Scheffler. So Justin Thomas is on the hole. Jose Luis Ballester is looking around. They're on the 13th hole. Apparently, JT had something to fix or whatever. So instead of going to the designated porter potties, this young 21-year-old just ran to the trees and the creek and relieved himself and thought, I'm like, I really need to pee, Ballester said after his round. Didn't really know where to go. And since JT had an issue on the green, I'm like, I'm just going to go sneak in here in the river and probably people wouldn't see me that much, except they did. They clapped for me, Ballester said. Probably one of the claps that I really got today, real loud. So that was kind of funny. How about that? Welcome to the PGA Tour, young man. Go ahead and pee in the woods over there. To me, that's cooler. Like, I think that's how golf should be moving forward. Like, that is relatable. That, I'm on the 13th hole. My dad's over here digging for his golf ball. My brother's over here getting his iron shot set up. And our 4th, my brother-in-law is just recklessly driving the golf cart around looking for his stuff. I'm going to dip off into this tree real quick, and I'm going to use the facilities. That's hilarious. And it reminds you, I say this to my team all the time, it doesn't matter how old you are. Doesn't matter if you're a professional or an amateur or a high school player or whatever. We're all the same. We are all the same. These guys might be 30, 40, 50 years old playing this game, but they're all kids. They're all playing a kid's game. Okay. I coach a kid's game. All right. So I just find it funny when you get to humanize the professionals. when they are on our level. So not only are they playing on our level with 7s and 8s on their scorecard, they're peeing on our level in the creeks and in the woods. I'd say, Jose, maybe next time, just go to the designated bathrooms. Might make it easier for yourself. Day 2 today, 3 and 4 on Sunday. We'll check back in on Monday, and we will talk who the crowned master champion is. Andrew Romanella here. The Rome Show, 12ozsports.com, broadcasting live on YouTube, X, Amazon, or Fire, and Roku TV. Quick commercial break here. When we come back, MLB breakdown. Are you hot or are you not? Stay with us here on The Rome Show, 12OZ Sports after this.
Welcome to MyBookie. You're ready to create an account and start making money, and we're here to help. And remember, you can get a bonus of up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Now you're ready to bet. Just go to mybookie.ag, visit the sportsbook, click on your bet, and input the amount you want to risk or win in the bet slip. Yes, it's that easy. Just remember, at MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid.
Home Show. What's up, everybody? We are back. We are better than ever, and we are not getting music into the system. These things will happen, but it's the Rome Show here, 12ozsports.com, broadcasting live on YouTube, on X, on Fire, and on Roku TV. Before the commercial break, we told you we'd be going MLB, hot or not. I got 6 situations up here for the people, starting with the Baltimore Orioles. Does Andrew believe they are hot or they are not? We are going to go with the Orioles are not hot. The Baltimore Orioles, who I picked to win the AL East this year, started the season 5-8, and in their last 10 games, they are 3-7. Right now, they are struggling to score runs, having only put up 55 in 13 total games, but giving up 61. They have the worst run scoring differential in the Atlantic East right now. And on top of that, they are in last place in the Atlantic East behind the Yankees, the Rays, the Red Sox, and the Blue Jays. So a lot of ground to make up here for the Baltimore Orioles. The only thing that's good for them right now is, even though they've started really slow over the course of the first 13 to 15 games, the Yankees came a little bit back to life. The Blue Jays are the Blue Jays. The Red Sox and the Rays, I think, are, you don't really know what you're going to get. So there's obviously still time here, but the Orioles are my first not start team. We continue on. Let's go with the New York Metropolitans, and I'm going to say they are hot now. Hot by the standard of where are we at right now? The Mets are 8-4. The Phillies are 8-4. Mets started off by losing the first series of the year and have been 7-3 since. They are plus 13 on the differential, and both teams, including the Phillies, are 5-1 at home, which is a huge number for me. But the most important thing for the New York Metropolitans right now is that pitching staff. We came into the year wondering, what type of pitching staff was this going to be? Would this be a pitching staff that could carry the New York Mets to the postseason and even further? Because when you look at who you're matched up against, you have to go to the postseason and beat the Dodgers. You got to go to the postseason and beat the Phillies. You got to go to the postseason and beat the Giants, beat the Padres, Cubs, right? These are all teams that's who you're stacking yourself up against. That's what you're trying to get to in the postseason. Where is the pitching going to be for the Metropolitans? Well, so far, the New York Mets have the best pitching staff in Major League Baseball to jump. They've only given up 32 runs as a pitching staff on the entirety of the year, and they have a 2.10 ERA. Here's the biggest thing. Of all the pitchers on the Mets staff, they've struck out 118 players over the first bunch of games. They've only walked 45. Okay, they have essentially a 3K to 1 walk ratio as a pitching staff. To me, you don't need to look any farther than that right there. If you are striking more people out than giving up free passes, huge recipe for success. New York Metropolitans are hot. How about those Colorado Rockies? They are not hot at all. Okay, what's going on in Colorado here? Okay, because I don't understand how we can have a franchise that draws, stadium's beautiful, people like going to Colorado, okay? There's altitude there, so offensive guys feel like they can rake. But for the history of time, the Colorado Rockies, outside of like the Todd Helton era, Troy Tulowitzki early, have been unable to ever sustain consistency, okay? And so I put them in a category of the Reds, of the White Sox, of the Nationals, of the Athletics, of the Mariners. What are you? What are you trying to be? Okay, because I know what the Rays are. For 15 years, I've known the Rays are going to be a team that are going to go all in for one run and eventually break it all down and develop their talent in the minor leagues. That's who the Rays are. But these other teams, I don't know. And it looks to me like purgatory. Playing for the Rockies right now, playing for the Reds, the Nationals, that's all. Just get to the major leagues, prove yourself, and get the hell out of here. It's like a different version of minor league baseball, at least the way I see it. So the Rockies, not hot. 3-9 to start the year. They've given up 60 runs, and they've only scored 40, the worst second worst behind the Braves in Major League Baseball. Let's stick with the Atlanta Braves. Are they hot or are they not? I'm going to go with not hot. The Atlanta Braves are completely underwhelming, and it's making me think that Brett Snicker might get fired this year. They are 3-9 to start. They actually started 0-6, which is very not good. Look no further than their offense. Least amount of runs scored in the league at 38, because their pitching staff is really good. They've only given up 47 runs so far in 12 games, but they cannot score offensively right now. An attribute that you didn't think would go away from the Atlanta Braves has gone away for the Atlanta Braves. And now they find themselves at 5-7 in a division with the Phillies and the Mets. Okay, so this is no cakewalk. All three of those teams made the postseason last year. So the Braves playing not hot baseball. We continue on. Two more. The Chicago Cubs. Hot or not? I'm going with hot. The Chicago Cubs are hot. Who would have thought? 9-6 to start the year. They started 0-2 across the sea. They've been 9-4 in their last 13, 7-3 in their last 10. However, I don't know if this is going to last, okay? Because they've done it strictly on offense, okay? If the next closest team has 82 runs scored, that's the New York Yankees, okay? You know how many runs scored the Cubs have so far? Anyone? Thoughts? Nope. This one. Nope. The Chicago Cubs have scored 96 runs on the year so far, 14 more than the next closest team, okay? But they've also given up 68. So though their differential is plus 28 right now, it's skewed because of how good they've been offensively. But when the offense comes slightly back down to earth, is the pitching staff going to be good enough to keep this team at the top of a stacked NL Central with the Brewers at 7-6, Cardinals 5-7, Pittsburgh 5-8, and Cincinnati 5-8. So no team less than 5 wins in that division. But I got the Cubs right now as hot to start the year. Now, finally, the National League West. What? Yeah, 80% of it is hot. The 1%, the 20% we didn't talk about, we did talk about. It was the Colorado Rockies, and they stink. But right now in the NL West, you have San Diego at 10-3. You have San Francisco at 9-3. You have Los Angeles at 10-4, and you have Arizona at 7-6. These are some of the best teams in Major League Baseball right now. There's a real shot that you have to figure out how to get all four of those teams in the postseason towards the end of the year. It was obvious that the Los Angeles Dodgers are the team to beat, but they lost a series to the Nationals. They lost another series right after that. I believe it was to the Phillies. And so now you got a Dodgers team that is 2-4 in their last 6 and looks really, really human in an NL West that has really good teams outside of just them. So the NL West is hot right now comparative to a lot of other teams. That is your Major League Baseball hot or not breakdown on this Friday, April 11th. I like to do one of those every month just to give you an idea of where the Major League Baseball teams are trending. We're going to take one more commercial break. Then when we come back, it's my favorite segment of the week. What you watching this weekend on the Tube?
What you watching?
Welcome to MyBookie. You're ready to create an account and start making money. And we're here to help. And remember, you can get a bonus of up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Now you're ready to bet. Just go to mybookie.ag, visit the sportsbook, click on your bet, and input the amount you want to risk or win in the bet slip. Yes, it's that easy. Just remember, at MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid.
All right, welcome back into the Rome Show here, 12ozsports.com. We broadcast live on YouTube, on X, and on Roku TV. I'm your host, Andrew Romanella. We will be back, or we will be here with you for the next 5 or 7 minutes before we end this thing. We're going to do our favorite segment of the week.
What you watching?
We are What Are We Watching? And we are about to find it out right now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for some, yep, you heard it right, some of that good old theme music so we can what ya watching. All right, first and foremost, what am I watching this weekend? We just talked Major League Baseball. Well, I'm watching it this weekend. Okay, here's the deal. The Cubs, they take on the Dodgers in a 3-game set starting tonight. I mentioned before how well both of these teams are playing or not playing. Dodgers, they've lost 2 straight series to the Nats and the Phillies, and they are 2-4 in their last 6 after starting 8-0. Whereas the Cubs, they started 0-2 against the aforementioned Los Angeles Dodgers, got back to 500 and have been 7-2 in their last 9. So the first thing I know I want to saddle up for is this series, Cubs versus Dodgers. Secondly,
what you watching?
I'm watching the Masters, man. Are you serious? Why would I want to do anything else but watch and figure out who's winning the green jacket this weekend? It's going to start today in round number 2. Who makes the cut? Who's even there on Saturday and Sunday? Who's good enough? Okay. But on top of that, all right, I just love golf from the standpoint of the adversity, from the standpoint of the excitement, from how hard it is, to the fanship. I believe it's a fantastic sport, not only to play, but to watch. And so I will be tuned in through the Masters all weekend. And I am hoping that Rory McIlroy can turn it around here for himself and for the people that are believing in his corner. But Justin Rose, 3-shot lead, so we'll see. But Masters all weekend, specifically Sunday, when they crown the green jacket. Okay, finally.
What you watching?
I am watching basketball all day on Sunday. Here's the deal, ladies and gentlemen, okay? The Eastern Conference is set in the National Basketball Association. Here are your 1 through 6 seeds. Cavs, 1. Celtics, 2. Knicks, 3. Pacers, 4. Bucks, 5. Pistons, 6. Here are your 4 play-in teams. Orlando Magic, Atlanta Hawks, Chicago Bulls, and the Miami Heat. So the Eastern Conference playoff picture is set. However, we still have a lot to figure out in the Western Conference. The first 3 spots are finalized. OKC number 1, Houston number 2, and the Los Angeles Lakers are number 3. We also have the 9 and the 10 spot finalized, okay? So we know who the final 2 teams in the tournament are. That would be the Sacramento Kings and the Dallas Mavericks. However, seeds 4 through 8 still must be determined, including today and Sunday as the last 2 days of the basketball season. The Nuggets are in 4th place at 48 and 32. The Clippers are in 5th at 48 and 32. The Warriors are in 6th at 47 and 33. The Memphis Grizzlies are in 7th at 47 and 33. And the Minnesota Timberwolves are in 8th at 47 and 33. When you're looking at the schedule the rest of the way, obviously each one of those teams has 2 more games remaining. Okay. Some of the important ones that we're looking at would be, Nuggets, Grizzlies. They play tonight. Big game. Spurs, Suns, that's not. Warriors, they play tonight. Clippers, they play the Kings tonight. So a lot of big games tonight that are going to go a long way in determining the playoff seeding. So Friday and Sunday, the final 2 days of the National Basketball Association are
What you watching?
this weekend with the people. All right, ladies and gentlemen, what a good time that show was. I appreciate everybody tuning in here to the Rome Show, 12ouncesports.com, Roku TV, Fire TV, YouTube, X, all the good stuff. All right. You enjoy your weekend. We will be back on Monday at 7 a.m. Just remember to please tell your friends, all right, to listen to the Rome Show podcast, wherever you get your podcast. Head to youtube.com/12OZ Sports and check out the Rome Show there. Or just go to x.com and see any of the reruns on our favorite site, which is 12ozsports.com. I am Andrew Romanella. This has been the Rome Show here on a Friday. You have an electric weekend. And until then, I'm signing off saying peace.
Thank you for listening.